Whale follows man, then gut tells him to jump in the water. Indonesia is undeniably one of the most spectacular places on Earth. Not only does Indonesia have some of the most beautiful locations you can imagine, but it also has a rich culture and history. However, as beautiful as these places are, they can also be incredibly dangerous, as there is plenty of local wildlife. These animals are wild and many of them can be dangerous, especially when searching for food. However, the waters around Indonesia are just as dangerous as this story will show. Despite what some people think, Indonesia is not simply a country. It is a massive archipelago that encompasses no less than 18,307 islands. Of these islands, 6,000 of them are entirely uninhabited. This vast number of islands and the amazing scenery and locations to explore and such interesting animals, it is no surprise that Indonesia is high up on the list of places most people wish to visit and cross off their bucket list. Indonesia is completely surrounded by the Indian Ocean and is well known for its biodiversity both on land and underwater. In fact, Indonesia is listed as the third most biodiverse country in the world behind Colombia and Brazil. Indonesia is second only to Australia when it comes to fish species, with tourists being able to see things like mola-molas, mantas, loggerhead turtles, and harlequin ghostfish, all of which are unique to the area. As you may well know, Indonesia is well known for its clear waters and stunning beaches. These are of the biggest draws for tourists coming to the country. As a result, these areas have become hotspots for people looking for something different. However, Indonesia is best known for something else. This might surprise you if you don't already know about it. Due to its amazing waters and incredible biodiversity and amazingly rich marine life, Indonesia has become one of the most popular diving locations in the world, with people from all over coming to experience this here. Millions of tourists come to Indonesia to experience the unique diving opportunities afforded by the many islands. Julian, the subject of our story, was one such tourist, hoping to experience something unique. He got more than he ever anticipated. Every year thousands of tourists flock to some of the most remote and isolated islands. Almost all of them coming to experience this one-of-a-kind diving trip. Tourists are always pleased with what they get to experience. However, even though so many people come there year after year, and despite there being so many fishing and boat crews happy to take tourists out, it can still be dangerous. This is because such wide biodiversity under the waves includes many deadly marine animals. Julian is an accomplished and experienced diver, having developed a passion for it as a teenager. Once he finished his schooling, Julian decided that diving would be how he made a living for the rest of his life. So when he got the chance, moved to the mountainous region known as Gorontalo. The area is well known for its amazing mountainous areas offering incredible vistas, as well as pristine waters teeming with life. The two biggest tourist spots in Gorontalo are Serend Island and the Alel Marine Park. These are the area's most popular diving spots, bringing hundreds, if not thousands, of tourists to the area annually. It didn't take long for Julian to find and begin working at his absolute dream job, taking tourists out and leading them on diving trips. Julian has taken tourists out to the best locations to show them the amazing coral and wildlife in the waters around Gorontalo. However, this also means there is little out there to surprise him. A common occurrence off the shores of Gorontalo was whales swimming very close to the shores of the islands. As a result, they often even show up on the beaches, even the most populated beaches. Taking a diving tour near these beaches can lead to some amazing sights and encounters, even allowing people to see whales in their natural habitats. However, there are many things hiding in the water. On the day in question, however, Julian decided that he would do something different. Instead of going out on a normal everyday diving trip, he opted to go along with a fishing expedition. The local fishermen catch a wide variety of fish in the massive nets that they throw into the waters. These fish are then taken to be sold at the local market. It was while on this fishing trip that Julian would come across something highly unexpected sight. As usual, Julian was getting ready to take the tourists on the boat to experience the wild sea they had been entering. However, he was not prepared for what they were about to experience. When he noticed something moving under the water, Julian got excited. However, he hadn't realized exactly what he had seen yet. What Julian was about to discover was that this was not something he had ever expected or prepared for. The weird thing about this is the fact that the animal which was moving underwater appeared to stay in one place. Julian is an experienced diver who isn't afraid of going under the ocean's waves. As you can imagine, he was very curious about the animal that attracted everyone's attention. Curiosity got the best of Julian, and he decided to check out what type of animal was causing so much commotion. Without giving it any second thought, the diver jumped into the water in hopes of finding out what's going on with that animal. The tourists were stunned. What was under the boat? Before jumping in, the tourists were advising Julian not to go into the water because they could see a huge fin popping out. Was it a shark? Little did Julian know, he was in for the experience of a lifetime. The tourists held their breaths as they watched Julian jump. They were afraid that it might be a shark that had got entangled in some fisherman's line and that it would attack Julian. However, Julian didn't listen to what they had to say and did this. In an interview with the media, Julian explained that no matter how dangerous that animal he would cross paths with was, he would still help it out. Thankfully, the animal was not a killer shark. However, it was a huge orca that could have killed him with a flip of a tail. Orcas are widely regarded as the most dangerous marine mammal. They can weigh up to 6 tons, grow up to 23 feet long, and they are one of the ocean's most ferocious predators. Even though they're not as threatening to humans as sharks, you should still steer clear from them. However, Dungio realized that something was wrong with the creature, so he stepped in. The poor creature appeared to be stuck, and that is why it stayed in one place. Julian saw fishing lines wrapped around it and called one of his fisherman friends to help him out. Here's how the orca got stuck. You will not believe what happened next. As risky as this mission was, Julian knew that he needed to untangle the orca if he wanted the poor animal to survive. The orca was close to the boat, but they had to get closer so that they could help her. She got scared and tried to scare her rescuers. The tourists had never seen something like this. The orca got scared when it saw the boat come closer and it started blowing water as if to scare Julian away. Luckily, Julian did not bow out and he decided to start untangling the fishing line that held the orca in place. He had no idea how the creature would react during that time. Julian noticed that the orca was getting scared and he wanted to calm it down. We all know how to calm a dog or a cat, but an orca? What do you do to make her feel safe? Julian had to try something, so he decided to head over to its fin and start petting it. As risky as this move was, it worked. The orca stopped moving around and allowed Julian and his friends to help it out. As he cut through the fishing lines, Julian realized that he had to do something far more dangerous. The tourists were left awestruck. At one moment Julian disappeared underwater and everyone got scared. The tourist who was filming this incredible moment thought that Julian had been hit by the orca. Fortunately, though, that was not the case. What was Julian doing underwater? Julian took a big breath of air and dipped under the orca to start cutting the fishing line. This shows us just how brave the hero of our story is, because we can be sure that not everyone would have had the courage to do that. What the orca did after she was set free is unbelievable. Whale Stranding Indonesia posted this video on their Facebook page, explaining that this orca was entangled. The fishers chose to rip their fishing net and thus lost the 2 tons of fish they had caught earlier to rescue the orca, the post read. So thanks to Julian's gut and courage, the magnificent creature was free once again. But instants later, the diver noticed something strange. It turns out that there were further problems yet to be solved. The orca was freed from the fishing wire but still did not move. That is when Julian pulled out a huge stick in order to push it away from the boat. The orca had no idea that it was finally free and it did not even try to move away. Do you think the trick with the stick worked? It seems like the orca understood that it was free and it slowly started moving its tail. The orca was getting away from the boat and everyone on the boat started clapping. This was an amazing moment and everyone was happy to see that Julian had fulfilled his goal to perfection. I am sure that the tourists who got on the boat with Julian were never expecting this to ever happen. Although I bet they felt they received their money's full worth for taking this amazing boat ride. Freeing the tangled orca was no easy task, but it was all worth it in the end. Julian showed to the entire world that he is brave and that his love for wild animals is great. As soon as it realized that it had been freed, the orca didn't waste any more time and it started swimming away. Julian didn't need any thanks or show of gratitude because he knew in his heart that the orca would live because of his actions. The news went viral and people all over the world were baffled by what Dungio had done. However, the hero of our story doesn't regret having acted that way, in spite of the danger he exposed himself to. On the contrary, he believes that this story will help shed light on the fact that orcas, also known as killer whales, are not so aggressive as people generally think. As a matter of fact, some studies have shown that orcas are more similar to humans than what we think, so they're not so killer after all. They have the second largest brain as far as marine mammals are concerned, and they are sensitive and emotional creatures. Who would have thought? And you know what? Apart from being sociable creatures, locals believe that orcas bring good luck and that efforts should always be made to save their lives. This helps explain why Dungio was so keen on saving the creature's life. When interviewed by the media, both Dungio and the fisherman confessed that orcas are very respected creatures in their culture. If someone kills a strange animal in the sea, he and his family will live in bad luck. This is our ancestors' message. Lots of evidence, said the owner of the fishing boat, Ansher Rahman. If there's something that we learned from this story is that Julian is surely an experienced diver and everyone who gets on a boat ride with him needs to get ready for an adventure. Nonetheless, what did you think of this incredible story?